Think back to the last time you watched a movie with an inanimate character, such as Toy Story or one with a robot or teddy bear. By the end of the movie, you may have developed feelings for it because our human brain loves to personify objects in this way because it makes the world predictable, relatable, and a little less lonely. By attributing human traits, we fulfill social needs for connection and ease cognitive processing of complex information. We find emotional comfort or control in unpredictable situations, and in some cases, this is what we might do with AI. In this video, we're going to explore some common misconceptions around how AI works, why this matters, and how to use your human judgment through the process. The first misconception is that AI understands what it's saying. We might assume that AI knows facts and understands meaning like a human because it sounds like a human. It also confidently presents information, so confidently, in fact, that it makes anyone question it, even if they know it to be untrue. The reality is that AI predicts text based on patterns it's learned during training. It does not have beliefs, awareness, or understanding. It may have context and an ability to present a prediction, but it's essentially performing a very advanced pattern prediction. Much like predictive text on your mobile phone, AI is like a very advanced autocomplete system. So whilst it might present a solid output, if we assume AI truly understands things, we could believe everything that it writes without any human judgment. So AI can produce useful answers, but it still requires human judgment. The second misconception is that AI searches the internet for answers. Because we got so used to Google, we might assume that AI, just like Google, looks up information in real time. But the reality is that most models generate responses from patterns learned during training. They don't necessarily retrieve information from the internet when answering a question. Instead, they generate the most statistically likely response. It's kind of like the example that we discussed in an earlier video of the librarian who has read millions of books and articles. With the AI models, they don't reference news sources whilst answering. They respond based on what they remember from the books that they've read or the information that they've had in their training. Some systems do add live search tools, but the language model itself is still generating responses. So this means AI responses may be incomplete, outdated, or probabilistic rather than factual. Verification matters. The third misconception is that AI learns from every conversation automatically. We might have some knowledge about AI and thought it would retain information, or again, because it feels so human-like, we assume that it will remember the conversations that we've had, what we've said. But the reality is that most large models don't retrain continuously from individual conversations. Instead, the base model is trained periodically. Organizations may analyze aggregated usage data, and improvements are made in future versions. Individual conversations typically influence personalization, not the entire model. Think of AI like a dictionary, the contents of which remain the same, but there may be different versions for language variations. There might be future updates when new editions are published with new words. Another example is a app, say for fitness tracking, where you get to personalize it. For example, you may change what's on the dashboard. It will use your information and you can change it slightly. It presents back to you your data, but the app itself remains the same for everyone. The fourth misconception is AI is neutral and unbiased. Because it's mathematical and it has intelligence in its name, we can assume it's objective. But really, AI reflects the data it was trained on, the values of the organization that built it, and the safety rules and alignment processes used during training. This means models can reflect biases or design priorities. AI just reflects back the information ecosystem it learned from. If the information it learned from reflected a world with uneven representation, bias, or prejudice, the outputs may reflect that too. So it will be important to question outputs, consider alternative viewpoints, and use AI critically rather than blindly. The fifth misconception is AI replaces human thinking. Because we've gone from our use of Google that presents information from the internet to a tool that sounds human and presents what can seem incredible information, we assume AI will take over human decision-making entirely. AI is extremely good at analysing patterns, summarising information, generating drafts and accelerating research, but it still requires humans for judgment, creativity, strategy, ethics and context. AI is kind of like a bicycle for the mind. It makes you move faster, but you still have to steer. Real advantage will be gained by people who learn to ask better questions, interpret outputs, combine AI insights with human expertise. So 5 truths about AI. AI predicts patterns. It doesn't understand meaning. AI generates answers. It doesn't always search for them. AI doesn't learn from every conversation instantly, and AI amplifies human thinking. In the next video, we're going to explore the biggest myths about AI in general, what the future could look like, and what this means for small businesses specifically.